Hello, and welcome to Trails of Cold Steel, Part 13. We now enter the Naughtier Province airspace while aboard the the Courageous. My throat. Right, okay, hopefully my throat sorts itself out.
Thanks for all you've done, Valimar. I'll be counting on you if anything else comes up.
Acknowledged. Prepare yourself for your next encounter with the Azure Knight, my awakener.
Don't worry, I will. We lost last time, but I know that's not all I'm capable of. As long as we're all together, I know I can get stronger.
I eagerly await your results.
Looks like he went to sleep.
So, this is what the Great Ashen Knight looks like up close, huh? I've heard all manner of rumor about it, but I never expected I'd stand in the presence of a legend.
I can't possibly begin to thank you enough. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come to my aid. Thank you. Really.
That's true, actually. We had
that goes for
no
everyone
chances
else,
they
too.
didn't show up.
Thanks for coming to rescue me, God.
We're just happy you're okay.
Just don't scare us like that again, alright?
True. We were all on edge waiting for you to get back.
And yet you somehow managed to come out unscathed with Her Highness in tow.
You make it sound like it was easy. Well, easy or not, it was worth going on board. I got plenty of useful info out of it. So funny enough, I'd say their invitation worked to my benefit more than theirs.
Yay.
I guess there's no harm in looking at the positives now that all's said and done.
Look at you, acting mature and all grown up. Brings a tear to my eye.
Looks like we have some catching up to do.
I'd like to follow Reen's lead and extend my thanks to each of you as well.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you, all of
Your
you.
Highness.
And, dear brother, it's a relief to see you safe and sound. Though I never pictured my great escape would end with you in this airship of all things.
We did time our appearance fabulously, if I do say so myself.
Eh,
My only regret is that we weren't able to blow in with a storm of rose petals when we boarded them.
damn it, Oliver.
Perhaps I should have asked Emma to look into the feasibility of making such a magnificent entrance.
Oh man, that would have been so cool!
The ability to look cool doing something like that is certainly one thing, but the practicality...
Well, it's probably not impossible. Now you're just being silly.
Sounds about right for our prince.
Well, at the very least, I'd say we're clear of any immediate danger. And given this opportunity, I'd like to sit down with you to discuss our situation and exchange any pertinent information. But first, I think we have a few more reunions to celebrate.
Reen!
Hi, it's George and Toa, who have been on the ship pretty much the entire time.
Toa! George! I thought I heard your voices when we started flying away from the Pantagruel. So you were on board too?
You bet. Good to see you, Reen.
The adorable Toa Herschel, as per usual, is adorable.
Whoa!
It's really you. You're really okay. No sooner had we found out that you were still alive, we got told you had been taken by the Alliance. We've been so worried about you.
I'm a real troublemaker, aren't I?
Yep.
Sorry, Toa. But I'm glad to see you and George made it out okay. Everything I've said to you has been at the back of my mind ever since we parted ways in Trista, and it's kept me going every step of the way. So, thank you.
Oh. You remembered. You promised me you wouldn't die. And you didn't. And then there was the promise you made during the festival after party. You said that next year you'd work to make the Academy even more wonderful than it is now. We still need to work on that one. But
Yeah,
I
well,
know
that
you're
one
not the
before
kind
the
of
Civil
guy
War
who'd
was
go
going to
back
happen,
on his
so...
word.
See? Reen's a guy you can count on.
Alright, game, please just have it say George instead of Chubby Boy. We get it, he's
Nice
fat.
to see you're holding up okay. Still can't believe you made it through all that fighting in Trista in one piece, but... Well,
Good to see you again, George. But how'd you two end up on the Courageous to begin with?
we'll bring you up to speed once we all sit down for our meeting. There's a conference room on one of the upper floors. We can meet there when you're ready.
all the joyous reunions now done and dusted, the game now shall be doing a panning shot of the Courageous. The people that are piloting the entire thing, and of course everyone now in the meeting room. I don't know why there's a panning shot of that specific part of the Courageous, it just does.
The Courageous began its independent operations right before Heimdall was first occupied. I realized what the Alliance was planning, so I gathered a skeleton crew, met with Viscount Arcade, and we hurried straight to Trista, where we found your classmates locked in combat with the Azure Knight.
I see. That explains why you were in Trista.
I shudder to think what would have happened if not for the Courageous's timely appearance. What have you been doing since then, Father? I hadn't heard anything about your whereabouts until now.
Eventually, we were able to shake off the Azure Knight's pursuit, and we've been traveling around the country ever since, preparing to find you and take you on.
George and I haven't been here long. The principal managed to get in touch with the Courageous without anyone noticing and sent us here.
You did?
I hope he's still alright.
Good old Principal Van Dyke.
By the way, what happened to Major Vander? You two are always joined at the hip.
Ah, alas, he is currently indisposed.
No.
His military obligations have him heading up the 7th Armored Division in Western Erebonia.
Oh, never mind. He's doing fine in
We're
Western
working with your
Erebonia.
former instructor, Major Neidhart, as well.
If you're wondering if you don't see anyone in particular throughout this game, it's because they're in Western Erebonia trying to deal with the civil war over there. Apparently things are more bloodier there. We're just not allowed to see it. So, for all we know, they could be playing the most hardcore game of Boggle. And it would still
Him
be
too?
to the same effect.
So he's over in the west now.
I should have known the 4th Armored Division's ace wouldn't get his ass kicked so easily.
Oh, right. Dad said he'd heard from him too, remember?
Still, the west side of the country contains Marquis Hyarm's Sutherland Province, along with Duke Cayenne's Lemaire Province. The fighting there would no doubt be even more fierce than it is here in eastern Erebonia.
Correct. A large percentage of the Imperial Army's military strength still remains intact, but the Noble Alliance forces' constant attacks have put them at a disadvantage. On top of that, a number of townships in the region have been caught in the crossfire and suffered great losses.
Oh, that's war.
Terrible.
I'd heard as much, but it still pisses me off to hear it.
With the 3rd and 4th Armored Divisions occupied on the eastern side of the country, one can only assume the Noble Alliance intends to use that as an opportunity to crush the forces in the west.
Yeah, but they're not stupid. I bet the army in the west is putting up a pretty good fight by themselves.
It's too early to call things just yet.
An astute assessment. The situation in the Western Theater could change at a moment's notice.
Right. But that means we're uncertain what course to pursue now. And having said that, we have a question to pose to all of you. The question, really. With the whole of the Empire caught in the throes of civil war, what exactly do all of you intend to do from here on out?
Well, obviously, help out the good guys, aka those in the Imperial Army, because that's how this game works.
We were in the midst of discussing that when Reen was taken to the Pantagruel, in fact.
This is a full-on war, and our fellow Erebonian countrymen stand on both sides. No one here is delusional enough to think that a group of students like us are capable of stopping it by ourselves. Still, during our field studies, we found ourselves up against the problems this nation faces again, and because we have that experience, I believe there's a place for us to change things in all this. A part only we can play. We may not be able to compete head-on with the Alliance, but together, we can move things in the right direction for Erebonia as a whole.
That was wonderful, Reen.
Bravo, Reen. You may make a good speech maker one day.
Still, we aren't all gathered here for the same reasons, be it rescuing Elise or settling things with Crow. We've all got something that we personally
Those are
want to
two
accomplish.
things that you want to personally accomplish, Reen. You egotistical, selfish prick.
But accomplishing those things won't be possible with the situation as it stands. And that's why, no matter how stacked the odds are against us, or how fierce the fighting becomes, We want to put everything we have into making all the difference we possibly can, in whatever way we can. I think I speak for everyone in Class 7 when I say that.
You bet.
I agree completely.
We may all come from different walks of life, but this time, that can work for us.
Exactly. We have something no one else does, and because of that, we can do things no one else can.
And what kind of class would we be if we didn't take advantage of that
as well as find our own answers to the questions we have looming over us.
As Reen said, however big or small it is in the long run, we have a place in this war, and we have every intention of following it.
Sounds like it'll be a pain. No biggie. We're Class 7.
I believe that's all of Class 7.
Speeches and we're raring to go.
Without interruption.
You all sound like you've really thought long and hard about this.
That's the Class 7 I'm proud to serve.
I felt like my brain is mentally preparing for Revelry by
And
doing
you guys
this.
aren't the only ones who feel that way. Everyone at Thor's has something to bring to the table. Remember the Academy's motto? Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was what Principal Van Dyke said to us at the welcoming ceremony.
The words of
Thanks
Dreyfus the
for
Lionheart serve to
telling us
inspire
that,
us to
yeah.
this day, it would seem.
Of course. They ring as true as ever.
It's like you didn't even have to think about it. You guys just knew.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourselves. And it's true that Thor students are scattered all over the country right now. But I'm sure that each and every one of them are fighting too. And they feel the exact same way that you guys do.
I understand, Your Highness.
Indeed. I figured you would have already given it some thought, but I wasn't expecting such a stirring conviction. But I think this at least settles the matter of what course to take. If you would do the honors, Captain.
As you wish. We're about to do something neither side would ever expect us to do. We're going to entrust this ship to you.
Hey, I received word. Class 7 just got the courageous. Haven't they just been doing nothing but beating up the Noble Alliance? Exactly. Okay, well, the Noble Alliance forces, let's go attack the courageous wherever we can find it.
From here on out, the
And off they go
courageous
to
is yours
beat up the
to
courageous.
command as you see fit.
At the end of the day, if your side of the conflict involves Ouroboros, the Saturday morning cartoon villains as they are, then you are automatically the bad guy's side. There is no ifs or buts about it.
What?
Father, would you mind elaborating?
It means exactly
What's
what
a
it sounds
side?
like. The operation of this ship will be left entirely to your discretion. I imagine your journey to make a difference in this war needs a home base to begin.
I'll explain more as to what this means for us in terms of the gameplay,
Then what will you do?
but once we're done with the cutscenes. But still, it's
We plan to disembark and make our way to the western
a
provinces.
lot of reliance there, hoping that Class
Once
7
there,
don't just
we'll begin
immediately
working
convene
with
it into the
7th Armored
ground.
Division and the other neutral forces in the region. The intention is to ensure that as few innocents as possible are harmed by this conflict.
I was actually worried this airship might prove a bit too conspicuous to aid us in pursuing that goal. But with us headed west, we'd be leaving all of Eastern Erebonia in your hands.
Wow.
I see. That does make the most logical sense.
Kinda. If we got the courageous, we could give our third faction some real weight. Neither side could afford to ignore us.
I'm not even sure the guild could come up with a plan this way.
Well, it's fair to say I've learned a lot from the way the guild's members handle things, yourself included. Oh, and Alphen?
Oh, to be fair, Oliver, you do have the first-hand experience of
Yes?
the good old braces
I'd like to
system
ask
of
you to
crests.
remain on board the
so-
Courageous as well. This ship is technically the property of the Arner household, fathers in particular. It should give them a certain freedom to act if they have concrete backing from a member of the Imperial family.
Henceforth, I, Princess Alphen Rice Arnor, will guarantee the legitimacy of their actions.
Yay!
So do whatever you see fit to do. You have my full support.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Wow!
We are truly honored to have you with us.
No turning back now.
Yeah, seriously.
Phew, okay, that's why there's everyone was gonna have to comment like, "Yay, it's Alfred! Woo! We have her on board." Like, You don't need
We
everyone
hereby
commenting.
humbly accept custody of the courageous.
Please, leave Eastern Arabonia to us.
We'll be counting on you then.
I'm looking forward to toasting your future successes.
And so, now that we're getting our hands on the courageous, everyone that's deciding to get off the ship is going to get off the ship. And at least gave some level of instructions, although maybe not enough. And they land in a surprisingly fogless part of the Abel Highway. So this is probably Abel Highway 3, heading more near to Croydon. Because the fog problems weren't completely dealt with.
I'm leaving you in charge of the Courageous's day-to-day operations. I don't doubt you'll make a fine acting.
It would be an honor.
Toa is now captain by virtue of having the hat. And suddenly no more voices. Oh. But yes, Toa still looks cute, even with the captain's hat on. Maybe Arcee looks cuter with the hat on. I haven't figured that one out yet. I would need a bit more of a sample size for that to be proven true or false. Okay, come back during COD Still Free. But anyways, a human Mishi. No. With an irresistible line of Captain Toa merchandise. Falcon would easily be robbing me of my wallet, that would be sure. And suddenly, our supporting non-Class 7 party members are all fucking off. Darn it. That doesn't mean that you really do have such a little amount of time you're able to actually use Shawan. It's weird that. But, oh well. Now, unfortunately for Milliam, Claire shouldn't be bumping into Lecter. This is because Lecter's in Crossbow. He has to be in Crossbow. Because, sure. Shawan's off to do something to do with Arena, but we'll learn more about that later. And Toval's going to do the whole bracer thing of gathering intelligence. It's what you can do with as a bracer, just gather intel or do work. And
Green,
depending on
this is just a little parting gift from me.
And depending on who has the higher amount of link experience between Turval, Claire, and Shawan, will be now getting a scene here where
for me when I was in a pinch, so I hope it'll help you out too.
They give you an accessory. We get the quick caliber S. This is different from Turval's because
you've done a lot for us.
His one's locked to him
I always felt like you were looking out
so.
for me, even when it came to my future.
Think nothing of it. You kids are the future, after all. But remember, this is where it starts getting serious.
Well, our future's
Get
fucked,
yourself
but
through
still.
this war in one piece. Find something you want to dedicate your life to. And hey, if you ever decide you want to follow the same path Sarah and I did, you'll be welcomed with open arms, okay?
Toval's still
sure to give
trying
it some thought.
to give Ween the ability of being a bracer.
Okay, okay. Knock it off with the scouting.
Well then, it's time we bid you all a fond farewell for now.
I mean, to be fair, Ween as a
Chin up,
bracer wouldn't
Alfred.
be
I'm counting on your
a
charm.
completely
to keep everyone
horrible idea,
motivated.
because he's done a good job with the glorified bracer work throughout
May the goddess be with you.
1.5 games at this point.
I look forward to the stories you'll have
To say
tell
1.5 at this
next
point,
week.
no, we're not at halfway point. We can down that diversement and epilogue chapters for that. So yes, most of the adults, minus Sarah, have left.
Well, there they go. You think they'll be okay on their own?
Only the goddess herself knows for certain. Still, with some already calling this a second advent of the War of the Lions, I can only hope they make it through unscathed.
Oh, I'm sure they don't bear the symbol of a horned lion for show.
Yes, I suppose you're right. And the same goes for me, too. I can't very well call myself a Thor's alumnus and fail to deliver.
Well, well, are we birds of a feather? Proud Thor's graduates unite. I'll be in touch with them plenty in the coming weeks, so don't worry. The old guard will do as it must to keep watch over the young and vigilant. Speaking of the old guard, Chancellor Osborne was also a Thor's graduate, was he not?
Ah, small world.
Yes, he was.
Sorry to say, I can't picture it.
Was
Very easy to actually. Just put Osborne's face over some Thor's uniform and there you go. Easy to picture.
He and I may have had our differences, but I still feel a certain loss with his passing. I'd like to express my condolences to you while I have the chance.
I'm afraid I never had the chance to truly get to know him, but there's no doubt in my mind that he was one of the greatest men of our time.
Thank you.
Still, it must be tough for you with Heimdall under the Alliance's thumb. Were you able to find out where his funeral was held?
Actually...
Captain?
Is something amiss?
Nothing's good if
just
it's
that
ominous.
I received a strange report on that very issue. I was told his body was taken into the custody of the Imperial Guardsmen when the city was occupied. But then after that, it simply disappeared at some
Oh
point.
no, Chancellor Osborne was a Time Lord and has regenerated, and now he's gallivanting off through space and time in his TARDIS. Oh well.
Disappeared, you say?
Is it possible the reformist faction could have taken it from them?
I'm afraid I don't know. It is possible
Regardless
that the
of-
Intelligence Division did something to that
Regardless of whether Claire knows anything or not, doesn't matter here. This does hint to the idea that there's definitely something going on that may be a question for later.
Draw parallels with the Lance Maiden's sudden death following the War of the Lions.
Unbelievable. I'm almost impressed how much trouble one man can stir up, even from beyond the
Now,
grave.
sure, it gives you the answer to the question of, okay, so is Osborne dead? Is he alive? Is his body now
There's so many
strung up
plots in
somewhere?
motion. I doubt even his death put a stop to them all.
You know, could he have been stuffed in someone's crisper drawer? Who knows? Oh, obviously, in the perspective of COD still, we'll be keeping that a secret until the relevant information is available. In terms of those that have played Crossbow, you know the Crossbow games, you know the answer. Don't be a dick. And that's whether on the confirmation or the denial of any potential stuff.
No change in weather or wind direction since entering Kreutzen provincial airspace.
We are currently cruising at a speed of 3,000 SPH.
Which is apparently meant to be really fast.
Nothing abnormal detected on the radar
But
thus
it's
far.
SPH, so that's not even like kilometers per hour where I'll just be like, okay, how do you convert that? That's just straight up made up.
Detour around the Twin Dragons Bridge, staying within the clouds. Take extra care that we aren't noticed by the Noble Alliance's surveillance.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. She's a real natural at this.
Yeah. It's hard to believe she's only been in the position for a day.
Indeed. She has proved a worthy captain in Father's place.
As if anyone could fit the role better than our student council president.
Sure
She
enough.
still looks like a mascot character, though.
That's just one of her many charms.
Yeah, just one of.
Yeah, and besides, I can feel at ease knowing she's in charge. So, today's the day we start our journey anew, right?
Yay.
We settled what we'll be doing last night. Now all that remains is to do it.
We now get a flashback to more conversations that were had in the meeting room after they dropped off the others, the ones that left.
Well, Toa and George should be able to handle the day-to-day running of the ship, so that's out of the way. And whatever we decide, it's
Woo,
not
we
like
get an
we're going to
echoey
be
form
able
of
to do
the voice
anything major
lines
today.
because it's a flashback. Woo.
I think it's time we start hammering down exactly what we're going to be doing from tomorrow onward.
In theory, the Courageous gives us the ability to fly around the whole country with ease. But, in reality, the Noble Alliance has control over most of Erebonia, so we're limited in where—
Yeah, we don't want to risk getting too close to Alliance territory. We'd run the risk of being captured, or even worse, being shot down.
It's sad to think that we barely have anywhere we can land with an amazing airship like this at our disposal.
Care to share your thoughts on this, instructor?
Oh, you kids can just do whatever you want.
Damn it, instructor.
I lost the will to put in any effort after Captain Classy got off.
Boo. Sarah,
You slacker. I'm pleased that you think so highly of my father, but...
Maybe Laura can hook you up with a one-on-one lecture on the Arcade School of Courtsmanship, if you know what I'm saying.
William.
I was kidding. In all seriousness, if you need more people fighting in whatever you end up doing, I'll be happy to help you out. Just don't forget that the Courageous was entrusted to you kids, not to me. If you want my advice, then you got it. But you need to be able to make all the important decisions on your own.
Of course.
You almost sound like an instructor for once.
Getting back to the matter at hand, we don't need to decide everything right at this moment. What say you to figuring out how and what for now?
Come again?
I assume what would be our overall goal. Something realistic that we can all work together towards. And the how would be a basic idea on how we intend to achieve it.
Stop civil war. And how, just doing what we've been doing the entire fucking game.
It's a little trick we use in the student council. It's easier to get motivated when you have a specific goal in mind.
You guys were doing the same kind of thing in the weeks before the Academy Festival, remember? The concert was what you were working toward, and all your other planning was how you intended to pull it off.
And of course, the one with the Great One was just a slight detour.
I see. That makes sense.
We did spend a lot of time before and during the festival working out all the details, come to think of it.
Not to mention taking care of the things we couldn't plan, like the strange stuff at the old schoolhouse.
We were coordinating with all of the other classes and clubs at the same time, too.
When you break it down step by step, we did so much without even realizing it. And we may have our own personal goals right now, but if we can wrap those up into one overarching goal, it won't seem half as much.
How about making it something related to the Academy itself, then?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
I wonder what's happening there.
Flashbacks to the Empire
Toa,
2001.
George, the Academy is currently under the Noble Alliance's control, right?
That's right. The staff and students who are there are doing what they can.
As you know, during the attack, a lot of the students managed to flee Trista and are now scattered across the country. Now, most of the upper-class students chose to stick it out, though. They've got no reason to fear the Alliance, being nobles and all.
All right, then. I think our what should be taking back the Academy.
That sounds good to me. The Courageous will serve as a good means of transport, but we'll need a proper base sooner or later.
But with it, we can get a better look at the current state of things in Erebonia and try to reach out to those who are in need.
And whatever information we learn along the way could bring us that much closer to liberating the Academy.
Can't see taking it back going that smoothly, though.
No doubt. It's near the capital, so its defenses are gonna be rock solid.
Still, I like it. What goal is more worthy of us than reclaiming something we hold so dear?
Indeed. Regardless of personal motivations, I can't think of an objective more fitting to us as a group.
And if we actually manage to achieve it,
I'm genuinely moved by your positivity.
Well, their optimism is probably their strongest point.
We were thinking of something along the same lines, in fact, so it works out. And hey,
Oh, thank goodness. We all thought the same idea.
To stop the others from Thors from thinking it too. So if you happen to bump into anyone who escaped from the Academy, why not go and ask them to join us? I'm not saying it has to be your primary focus or anything, but the more people we have on our side, the better.
That's a great idea.
And for people playing this video game that we are playing, there is an achievement for getting all the students.
Yeah,
so just as
we'll be sure to keep an eye out.
We have about the bare minimum crew we need to fly at the moment, but it's not like this is their full-time job. I'm sure our current staff won't be here forever, so we're gonna need a few extra hands on board at some point. Ideally, we could have whoever's here now stick around long enough to train anyone we end up recruiting.
I know our numbers are small right now, but the more people we can get on our side, the higher chance we stand of making Trista and the Academy our home again. And I don't know about you, but I get this weird sense of satisfaction knowing that we students are gonna be the ones to do it.
Yay! It'd be really annoying if we swoop in to be like, we're here to liberate Trista, and like, I don't know, the 4th Army Division's already there, like, yeah, we already did that. You should have seen it, the battle was quite bloody actually. We actually killed a few people.
Everything works for me.
I'd say that's our how decided, wouldn't you?
Agreed. To wrap all this up, we'll use the Courageous as our base, and as a way to get a good idea of the current state of things in Eastern Erebonia. Along the way, we'll try to recruit as many fellow Thor students to help us out as we can, all for the sake of our primary goal, taking back Thor's military academy.
Man, these cutscenes are so long. Oh, fucking hell. So of course there's only a couple of places where they can actually realistically go to without any issues. So this will be the Graham, North Highlands, the army base near Gorelia, Ymir. So really not many places yet. And on this terminal we'll be able to, well, it's an orbital computer, we'll be able to utilize the ability to get requests. Yeah, it's going to be having a bunch of side activities and mandatory things to do. And so, our first 4 extra activities. Keep in mind that those that are required are ones we have to do. So, Monster Madness. There's a large mysterious monster in the Highlands. So, we need to go and deal with a monster in Nord. Fair enough. Find our first years. So, we need to go and grab Monica, Mint, Casper, and Phoebe. We know exactly where all 4 of these people are. And for the few that we know where are but aren't on this list when it comes to first years, yeah, they are about. It's just that they're not recruitable yet. Without leave, turns out there is a civilian that was with those in Gorelia and has disapparated into thin air, and so we need to go and look around and make sure that they're not getting currently mauled by a bunch of ravenous beasts, or the Noble Alliance, whichever comes first. And Badass in danger. Oh no, Pyretree's in trouble. No, not that NPC from Heimdall. We'll learn more in the Gram anyway. So there's a bunch of stuff all over the place. So it seems like we'll be taking Marcius for one of those side quests. Anyway, and ideally we'd probably take Gaius with us to Nord. Oliver using the ability of knowing more about the whole Bracer activities, curse you Sky, to do this. So we will definitely be keeping our eye on the computer screen to be able to see whether or not there's stuff going on. And George will be handling all of our Arcus related stuff from this point forth. So yeah, we just have an orbital factory on deck now. That's good. So of course we need to decide who's actually going onto the ground. And Gaius wants to be part of the party that does, because we've got to go to the Highlands to beat up a monster, and we have to. There is no, I might do it. No, we have to. So Gaius will be joining us. Sarah will also join us if we desire her to. So yes, every time there is a major story development that requires a specific person to be involved in the plot, they will get locked in to the party. So you can't not have them. So we have Gaius. We have to have Gaius. So yeah, now we just need to determine who we want in our party. And so I'm just going to throw in the people that I like to use. Just for the moment, because that's just how I do things. And now we actually do enter Act 2, The Awakening Lions. And we get the thought bubbles of Wayne thinking, I should probably go and look at all the stuff in the Courageous, at least once over. But before that, we can head to the terminal and do the various of these things here. There's even a things like dress up thing. Now, student information will actually show us that there are more than the first years, as Clara is in the North Highlands, specifically the Agent Chloe. Yes, that's why that was her tent that we saw earlier. And Emily / Nicholas are both on the Grellia Byroad somewhere. So we'll need to head there. When it comes to the settings and dress-up thing, we can toggle whether we see the flight animation every time or we just skip it and just get the loading screen. We'll just do that because that saves us a bit of time. And the change toes accessory. We can remove equipment, which there isn't anything, and various accessories. There are several accessories you can have for Toa, whether they are gotten in the game or through DLC, and I've got the Ride Along 10th Missy here we can put on Toa. Or we can just not. Simple as that. So yeah, that's no. Right, we're gonna save it because that was a lot of cutscenes, and unfortunately, I need to be right. Oh, that was me hitting my mouse. I will be right back. I've got this fun thing called bounds, and the fun thing about them is that's annoying.
Right. 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 Right.
Okay, right. Apologies for the extended break of nothingness. That was, as I said, the bells of fun things. Thankfully, I think that will not happen again for the remainder of the stream. So anyway, we're on to the courageous. Just like in Cold Steel 1, there's the floors we were able to go to, but also some additional floors. So obviously we're on floor 5, the bridge. There isn't much to do up here other than see who happens to be flying the ship and of course talk to Toa to go to different locations that we are able to at whichever point in the game you're at. So we'll be going in from top to bottom on the floors. So first off is conference / training. Oh good, my nose is side act up. So as the game will tell us, it has got some stuff to it. Alphen is in the Royal Room, which is just where she'll be if you happen to be wanting to do anything on the Courageous involving Alphen, then she'll be there. And there are the training rooms. Recruiting Pacific students will unlock various levels of the training that you can do, be that melee, ranged, or magic. Arts, actually. These rooms can be entered if a person happens to be in them. So for example, Laura is here at this present moment, so we're able to go in there. The others are currently locked because, well, there's no one in there. Going into the Royal Room, we can talk to Alphen. In fact, Alphen is required to be talked to because she has the red exclamation mark. Royal families and paperwork. They go hand in hand these days. Order of the Phoenix Wings Medal. Yeah, so there are, just like in Cold Steel 1, some medals you can get. In this game, charity, love and strength are awarded to people who exemplify said virtues. So if you happen to do those objectives, then Alphen can give you those medals. They are accessories just like in the first game, and ultimately are nice little bonuses to get if you happen to be doing stuff. And you can read about this on the bookshelf, so we can go here and read about the medals. So Medal of Charity is awarded only to those who have independently and voluntarily strive to better the lives of others across the land. Medal of Love is for those who have demonstrated love for their fellow human beings, showing and earning the trust and understanding of many people. And the Medal of Strength, an award granted only to those who have performed great acts of strength, defeating a powerful foes to protect this nation and its people. AKA, these are not going to be gettable on a casual first playthrough unless you are doing literally everything. Anyway, that's all we need to do on this floor. And you can see here on here when we press X that there's objectives on every floor. So we'll have to go through them anyway. Floor number 3. This floor we were able to go to in Cold Steel 1. But we weren't able to do anything on the Courageous. So now that all these rooms are accessible, it's nice to be able to actually explain what they do. So of course you got your rear and front decks and whoever happens to be standing on them at any given time. And this is this floor also has shops. And a room where you can take a nap in. Yay! At the moment there's only one shop available. Once again, recruiting Pacific 4 students will unlock other stores for you to do so with. And the nap room will heal your health and EP, but not your CP. Darn. And that's all we need to actually do on this floor. But it's worth pointing out that the one and only shop we've got at the moment is the supply room. We can utilize this. Exchange the 7th mass you have, and oh boy, Yeah, pro tip, when it comes to this, don't buy every weapon. Don't buy a billion versions of every bit of armor. You will go broke. For now, we are going to buy the weapons of people who we are going to be using. So that means definitely the Elder Spear and Green Sword. The couragous Mahu. We've got the Spear Sword for Ursus, Earthshaker for Millium. And we have Elliot and... Get an Oak Staff for Elliot and Beast Fangs for Fee. We'll do that for the time being because we are going to use them and we are going to get into combat. The nap room is up here and it's very easy to just sleep there, though everyone's got full health and EP, so there's no need for that. Some other rooms do exist, like this bit of just cargo that seems to be up here more than anything else, and that's all there is for this floor at the moment. Floor 2. Known as kitchen slash etc. As you can see, there are other symbols. So yeah, we've got several things we can do on this floor. Woo! About the second floor facilities, it includes a kitchen and infirmary. And while these are certainly limited, more will become available with the more students we recruit. Of course, in the game room, there is the perfect place to play Blade 2. So yes, if we head over to this side, there's the infirmary, though you can't rest in those beds. Emma happens to be here at the moment. And in the game room, no one is here currently, but it's also where you can store your snowboards for the snowboarding activity. My nose. We happened to have gotten that Blade 2 deck after the battle with Crow. It literally gave us that as an item. Welcome to the new and improved version, creatively titled Blade 2. It's basically the same thing with some few more cards. So Crow wants us to play Blade 2 because, let's face it, it's Blade, he likes it, so fair enough. Certainly a Crow approach, to say the least. And Blade 2 is now playable. You can inspect one of the card tables to allow you to call a classmate for a game. Playing against someone will allow you to deepen your bond with them regardless of whether you win or lose. However, you can only do this 5 times per bit of game that it lets you do this with. So they'll have a star next to their name at said points. It's after each major story development. What's considered major is, I don't know what's considered too major, but point is for the time being, we can only do this 5 times to actually get link experience. So doing this with people is rather valid to do. So let's say Gaius, he's locked into our party anyway, so yeah, I might as well show off Blade 2 because we might not play it ever after this point. I don't know yet.
Go ahead and draw.
Oh, we got a bit of a shite hand. Also, there's now a helpful help bit, so you can actually look at what this does. The blast card lets you discard an opponent card. If they have none, this serves as a 1 and 4. It doubles our current total. So save that for in the event of it being needed.
Use a bolt.
He bolted that. I question the sanity. Oh, I did not notice that was that.
Go first then. Well done.
Oh, I just used.
Well done.
I just used blast. I lose because I didn't play a card. Oh, never mind.
Well played.
Do I win?
I hate to do this.
Oh, I lose. Okay, I lose. Damn it.
It seems the wins.
He got better cards. So we got 100 linking experience. Realistically, this is not... Now, you don't need to play Blade 2 in order to get people's link experience up to get the final bonding event, as you'll probably be doing the characters you want to do the most anyway. So, Anyway, the other rooms in here includes this archive of books. Someone might have a name for that. A kitchen that, of course, Miriam and Fee both have gone to. And over here is a area full of computers. Not really much you can do on this floor outside of the things that we've already done. So now we go down to the Orbital Factory / hold. Within the factory in the hold, I don't need the game to explain it to me, but nonetheless, George is here. He can do all of our Orbital stuff that we require to be needing to be done. And inside the hold is, of course, Falamar and the bike. So, and they can both eventually be customized to some extent as well. Falamar requires a specific student, and the bike requires buying specific colorings or even finding specific colorings in the game later on. So anyway, yes, we do need to talk to George. So now we'll be able to use. George has done some work on the bike, meaning we can use it whenever we want now. Yay! And if we want the sidecar, which really doesn't do much, then we'll have to spend a ton of mirror on it. And there's also some different colorings we can go for as well if we really want to. So pressing the X button on the highway to open the navigation screen and pressing it again, we can ride a bike wherever we happen to be. It highlights the Corellia Byroad as a nice example. You can also customize the color of it. There are some to be found. Some can only be found in the overworld, while others are found just by shopping here in George's bit, like the yellow colouring. Psycho unit costs a bit much. Don't go for that unless you're sure about it. We can we can now get the Murakumo Master Quartz, which deals in dealing more critical hits at the cost of not having any art. So that art stat could be whatever. The strength stat is what matters more. If you really want to go for this as your Master Quartz, you can. I'm not going to stop you, but obviously I'd rather keep my money, so nonetheless. Also just gonna check. Can we? Oh, we now have access to Tyrrell Quartz, HP 2s. We're gonna synthesize a few things here that we might have not had before. Oh, Fay 2s. Getting those. Get a cast 2 all at it. But get a hit 2 for someone. Oh, no need of that now. Yeah, that's all we need to do. Now, of course, we still have like tons of lines we can upgrade. It's just gonna double check everyone, make sure they're at least level 1. If there's something that's really like very rare that I want to have on someone, then I'll sort that out in some time. So, anyway, an upgrade from Cold Steel 1 is Sarah, who we can now actually use from the get-go instead of one of 2 options if you happen to have gotten all of the medals in the first game, and Van Dyke would give you either Sarah's or supposedly 9 hearts. Point is 4 recovers health for attacks and crafts and recovers EP for attacks and crafts, basically keeping you alive longer. Not many arts, just Spark Arrow, Judgment Bolt, and I believe one other attacking wind art. Overall, an offensive Master Quartz, which works in form of the playstyle of Sarah, who also gets some decent quartz to begin with and has some nice slots to put in some other stuff with. Anyways, we are now at a stage where we are getting closer to doing what I want to do. I actually do want Leg Breaker over Breath on Fee. So, do we actually have an action 2? No, we do not. Okay. Now, one other thing to point out is we have yet to edit Eustace's stuff. Well, we'll give him Cast 2 because he can utilise that. We haven't hit 1 because I wanted to hit 2 on someone else. Let's go fade 1 and action 1 because Wind is getting the HP 2. And realistically, this quest star not as good as it could be, but an fade 2 would certainly help out. Now, Gaius we haven't edited since earlier, but hey, you know, give him some HP, give him some other stuff, and he's good to go. Yes, he's good to go because that's my character doesn't use it. Okay, we're losing a. Oh, does he have aerial? He has aerial on that and the master core. Here's this. Have a shield 2 instead. Oh, right. In the equipment screen, I do want just give. I'm giving Elliot the Quick Caliber S. It reduces casting time by 1/3. Oh, they still have accessories. Okay, good. We're at a point where I have to just try and manage everyone in terms of equipment. Just because that's how it is. I believe we do need to go into the hold, talk to Falamar. Yeah, we do. Okay. Falamar is now available to just go and talk to. I apologize if I suddenly feel shittier. One thing that the way that my movements down there go means that I just get tired out. Because all my energy just gets used on the toilet and then I'm like just dead. So I feel like shit, to be honest, right now. But now we can use Spirit Unification. I'm just trying to keep myself boisterous. I got to make up for the time that I was gone because I didn't want to just stop streaming. Because we've done nothing. So yeah, now that we've done that, we can fast travel anywhere we want to go, which means heading back to the bridge because we've got to now start doing our job. Which is to go around and do all the side activities and, of course, all of the other stuff. When we are out and about, X and start is used to go to the thing. Of course, this means that the world actually does open up. We get reminded as to how we're meant to hand in our stuff and go to the student information. Thank you, game. So, yeah, this isn't something that I consider bad, just it changes the flow of the game. So, although we get told more about the students there, but anyway, talking to Toa, choosing our destination, it gives us our list of places. So, Ymir, the various parts of the North Highlands, depending on which parts we want to go to, the Proving Grounds over in Gorelia, and Gorelia Fortress, or at least what remains of it, we want to, and of course, Legram. Fuck, okay.
Where do you want to go?
Nowhere. You know, I have to do this, unfortunately. It's a shame. I wanted to play more, but oh, my head. So, this is why sometimes there's just a day where I just won't stream. Because it happens before I get to, but oh god. Right, I apologise to anyone watching this part that it's not been that fulfilling of a part. More just getting through all of the stuff that we needed to get through in terms of the courageous. Next time there will be missions done. There will be monsters fought. There will be hopefully me rambling on about some random topic. I've got a few that I could have talked about today and I didn't. Maybe I'll feel better later on this very day. I don't know. point is, this is a necessary part of the process that I had to go through, and my head is just spiraling at this point. I need to go and have a lie down. So I won't do the shilling. Just do the shit you can on the social medias. Just whatever social media you're seeing this on, that will do. Next time, I was thinking next time it was going to be Mass Effect 2, but my next stream might be more Cold Steel 2. I don't know yet. Yeah, what am I missing? Oh yeah, I actually got a comment on one of my videos for once. That isn't just me being like, "Ah, guys, I fucked up the audio." Yes, Bidux is a cute dog. Thanks for the reminder. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to delay this any longer. I'll see you guys next time.